Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to remove a starter on a 1997 Ford Powerstroke. It's F250. Let's get started. So to get started, you're going to want to crawl under this thing, or if you got a good friend who's got a lift, that's even better. There are 3 bolts holding these on. We're looking at 1, 2, and the other one you can't see, but it's way up here, right above the solenoid. And I like to start with that one so that you're not fighting the tension of the starter for the hardest bolt to get to. So I'm going to take that one out and I'm going to show you the bottom 2 after that. And it goes without saying, make sure you disconnect the battery before you attempt this project, because that can go sideways on you pretty quick. So on this top bolt, people will try to get a ratchet just up in there from the side, and it never works because you got the whole frame right here and the fender in the way, the plastic fender housing. However, if you go from over the top, you're able to stack a couple of extensions, and then you can fit a ratchet right on the end of it. You have so much more room here to rotate it back and forth, and that's the best method I found to take these off without having to drive yourself crazy or take off a plastic fender or something like that. So top bolt is a difficult one. If you can get that out, you're pretty well home free. And this calls for an 11/16, but I'm here to tell you the 17 fits a whole lot better. 17 millimeter. Tightness is everything when you're doing this kind of small work in a small space. So I would try the 17 as opposed to 11/16 because it just fits a lot better on the end of the bolt. Okay, I'm on the last bolt here. Nothing to the bottom ones. You can get right at them, of course. And I'm going to use 2 hands here because you got to be careful with these starters because they're heavy and they'll smack you in the coconut if you're not careful. Last bolt is out. Now you're going to just slip this whole thing forward, kind of rotate it away from everything, and then you just got your couple wires to take off here. And I'll get the size for those in a second. And little one there, big one there, take them off and you're a free man. Okay, and I also recommend taking off the little wire first so that's not the whole weight of the starter isn't dangling just by a small wire here. This big one can take the beef, but this little one, I wouldn't let one dangle by it. And that little bolt is a 5/6, it takes a 5/16 wrench to get it off. And when you're done, put that nut and washer right back on it so you don't lose it, because otherwise it's a pain to go find. And then the big one up there is 11/16, and then it's all off. Starter's out. Now that it's out, I'm going to show you how to test it real quick. So I have a good 12-volt battery right there, and I'm going to take the negative, and I'm going to connect that anywhere to the body of the starter. That'll ground out well, and it always grounds out well right there for me. And first we're going to test the Bendix, see if it's working. So we're going to, that little screw that we took off there, we're going to try it there, put some power to it. And you see that's got good action there. Holds well. Now, for the testing of the actual starter, you have to arc the power from the large stud that you took the power wire off of and the small wire, and then we'll see if it's got good action there. Okay, it might be a little bit wonky camera work here, but I'll try to get it. And you're going to want to try to hold this down too, because it can get a little funky. Okay, so we still have good Bendix, but that starter doesn't want to kick over. So based on that test, I would say that this starter has had it. It doesn't look very old. Sometimes these starters get kind of abused if in the winter, if they've got bad glow plugs, or maybe the injectors are old, or they didn't plug it in or whatever. They'll just crank the bejesus out of it and wear out a starter awful fast. So I'm going to do the Super Duty upgrade one and put in a little bit bigger, better gear reduction starter. I just want to show everybody what I used real quick for tools for this project. Nothing fancy. Used this to arc the starter to see if it was any good. 11/16 to remove the large end bolt on the starter. 5/16 to remove the small ignition wire. Extension to get to this top bolt, sitting funny in the case. And I also used an extendable ratchet. You can get these at Harbor Freight for 20 bucks. And then I used a 17mm socket to do the starter bolts themselves because I felt like it fit a whole lot tighter than the 11/16 did. Well, there you go, guys. Give it a shot. Thanks.